Well, well, well. If it isn't me again. Alright. Well, what is the point of waiting? I have some videos to watch that I want to watch, that I've been waiting to watch. So we might as well. Hang on. Alright. Alright. I thought we would start off today with some gaming. I've been wanting to find out what type of games are coming out recently. So I found this little video to watch of a bunch of trailers. It's like an hour long. We're gonna watch just a bunch of trailers of a bunch of games. I don't know how many of them actually, I guess you could say suit my taste, but I guess we'll find out. This is Gamescom 2025 all game trailers 4K. Not 2K, not 1080p, but 4K. Very important to put that in the title. I'm sure. Anyway. Let's just, hang on, what the fuck? Let's just... What the shit? Hang on. Why is that there? Hang on. Let me just fix this real quick. Let me just fix that real quick. What the fuck? Hang on. Hang on one moment. There's always something to fix. There's always something to fix. I'm a little confuzzled. Hang on, let's see. Okay. I don't know what the hell happened there. What? What the hell? Ah, I see. I think I see what's going on here. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Anyway, let's just get into it, shall we? If I can ever have everything set up properly. All right. I think we're good. Valor Mortis. Might be a little too loud. Hang on. Okay, seems like some sort of I would assume action game. Then again, with cutscenes you never really know. Cinematics, I should say. And he just keeps walking. The Age of Guns. I see. I see. So we're doing like ancient
Silk Song gameplay.
We're doing like ancient well, not ancient, but like you know, what's even the word? More historic guns. What am I even trying to say? Trying to say like, you know, the olden times versus like zombies or something. Something along those lines.
Song gameplay, the first extended look.
We have a Hollow Knight Silk Song. This game recently came out.
Tomorrow,
Apparently it's very good.
Can play a demo at the Nintendo and Xbox booth. There you go. Silk Song is real.
Why is okay. I'm not sure why my shit is broken, but it is.
Everyone stand by.
Cinder City. Immediately 5 seconds in, it's garbage. I can tell you that. How do I know this? First things first, third-person game, and you just look at the animations of the character that you're controlling, and you can immediately tell it's garbage. Animations are basically, animations are the kryptonite of today's gaming. Apparently. Surprisingly, actually. You wouldn't think they would be, but they are. These days, if I look at a third-person game and the animations are very bland, then I'm immediately like, nope, just nope. Basically, the animations, the movement animations especially, it's kind of like it's like people asset flipping Unreal Engine 5 stuff, you know, and then making a game from it. It's basically like that, yeah, except for animations. So these days, no one really cares about graphics anymore because, you know, graphics are so good already that if I see bad animations, I'm immediately like, nope. I mean, nah, definitely not. That was garbage. Whatever this game is, like these people basically just take a bunch of pre-used assets and then put together a map and then come up with some sort of game mode where it's a bunch of people just shooting at each other. It's just so, I don't know. I don't want to say boring, but it's fucking boring. Lords of the Fallen. Is this the Souls-like game?
Have forsaken us.
I think it is.
For fear of the coming darkness.
I think Lords of the Fallen 1 was like... It was bad when it first came out, but then apparently they like made it better or something. I'm not sure. I haven't played the first one though. But I could be thinking of a different game.
Something stirred.
No, definitely the right game, yeah.
Something ancient, powerful, hungry. So I ask you, will you harness this darkness within and deliver unto our so-called lords retribution?
Ooh, I like the angel motif. War of the Heavens.
But should you fall, the world falls with you.
That was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, Souls-like games these days, like, as much as I like those types of games, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was a big advocate for action combat games, back in the day when, games like Terra Online were good. That game was actually good. Way back in the day. Used to play that game. They did action combat really well. And even back then, I kind of knew that action combat was going to be the future, but nowadays, I feel like Dark Souls, as good as it is, as well as Elden Ring, they kind of created almost like a problem with the type of game that they made. Not in terms of the genre of action combat, you know, Souls-like, but rather the aesthetic, right? Like they did the whole, you know, like, and the darkness comes, will you stand against it? You know, that type of shit, right? and I'm not gonna lie, it's gotten old because a lot of that type of, a lot of that type of, a lot of that type of like gritty medieval type of style. Like I like the angel motif, angel style, angel stuff, right? That's in my opinion kind of, well, it's not unique, but like it's interesting at least. But it's like,
Deliver unto our so-called lords.
you know, something like that, as well as how it started here with the, the goriness, like this shit, right? Basically every Dark Souls game, pretty much every, like Elden Ring as well, and it's like they all kind of just do the same thing. So I'm like kind of over the whole gritty, dark edginess of it, you know? It's just kind of gotten almost overused, at least in my opinion. Regardless, let's just keep going.
Before the corruption and the fight for
Enshrouded.
survival, I dreamt of a shimmering
So like Valheim?
and of exile. To find peace, we must brave the deep.
Already seeing quite bad animations,
Hear the old gods whisper.
but at least the
and an ancient fury
the game is clearly on a more cartoony art style
we shall
and
purge the profane.
style
and command the
in
water
general.
to yield to our will, for there is no greater power than the flame of the.
I guess that, yeah. I guess they only show like a minute, less than a minute of these trailers. Kind of annoying, but then again, we are here to check out older games, so why not? Resident Evil. Never played a single game. Mainly because some of you might be some of you, probably none of you, but if you're wondering why I have never played a Resident Evil game, it's because I'm pretty sure most of them were always just console exclusives, right? I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they were. And I've never owned the console in my life, so yeah. That's why.
Wait. Grace, keep moving.
Personally, I'm just not a fan.
Oh, who's that? Oh, I'm so sorry about the power outage.
What happened?
It's really no excuse, and I apologize for the inconvenience.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Don't worry. I should have it fixed soon. I just need to find my...
Come on in, Grace. Grace, look at me. Grab my hands. Okay, look at me. Look at me. In and out. Breathe in and out. Oh, Grace. I promise you, I will explain this all to you one of these days. Grace. Please know that you are my hope. Never forget that. What are you talking about? Just... I love you.
Ah yes, the classic. Clearly something is going on that I know of, but you don't, but I refuse to tell you because you need to find out on your own, otherwise the story doesn't exist. Classic. Classic.
Mom, I'm scared. No. We need to find a way out of here now. But we don't have any of our stuff. We can come back for it later, Grace.
Resident Evil, never been a fan.
Where are my
Onimusha, Way of the Sword. Another
fallen samurai?
Souls-like game, I'm pretty sure. I've seen something of this before, I think.
Something like this was right under the city.
Is it just me, or is it really bad quality?
What fearsome power! Be careful!
Righteous! And after everything you and your awful kind put him through, too. Were you feeling left out? Here, let me show you something to cheer you up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Did they take this from like a fucking? Is this like a mobile game, or like what the fuck am I watching? Why is everything so washed out? Did they record this on like the lowest of the lowest settings? And again, notice pretty much exactly what I was saying earlier. Why, like, it's always the goriness, right? It's always like all these games are kind of, they all have the same, how do I say this? They all have this, they all follow the same template. They all follow the Dark Souls template. You know, it's just none of them really do anything more unique. I've heard there was a game, I think, called the Crab Game or something, that was like a Souls-like, but it was like a crab. You're like a crab. It's like, that's at least thinking outside the box, right? And doing something new and unique. But a lot of these Souls-like games, they just kind of, they're all the same. Like, they're not the same, but they're all the same, you know? I'm not gonna lie, I'm very skeptical that any of these games will impress me at all, or interest me at all. To the point where I'm like, actually excited to get them and play them. Honestly, that was, I'm not even sure what that was. I assume another Souls-like or something where you fight bosses.
Go back to the start.
So of course, Project Spectrum.
I remember the wind, strong wind.
First person.
What the hell happened here?
We got company!
Okay. This one's interesting. I'm almost interested. Okay.
The loss is too heavy for you. But sometimes, loss can birth beasts and bury truths. What do you think? What if you are the beast?
The beast?
Interesting. Not the first time I've seen this concept. So, she's fighting herself. That one is interesting, actually. Reminds me of what was the name of that game? I don't remember. Actually, maybe I... Hang on, maybe I have it in my Steam. I think it was something about a singularity. Maybe it was just singularity, I'm not sure. But it was basically also a first-person game. There was like some time travel in there and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, the idea of you, or you know, the protagonist that you play as, thinking that you're killing monsters or enemies. In reality, you're killing the good guys and you're the bad guy. I've seen that before.
My life and laid claim
Silent
to my
Hill.
soul.
Again, same deal with Silent Hill that I had with Resident Evil. I'm pretty sure most of these were console games. Never played a Silent Hill game in my life. Or same with Alan Wake or whatever. I've heard of them, but never played them. Never was a fan of like horror. No, I'm not a big fan of horror. Horror.
I shall save your souls by claiming the life.
Oh, is this the Japanese anime girl game? I think I saw like a video of someone talking about this.
What's that? What is this place?
This way.
I better get going.
You had me until you didn't have me anymore. You had me until let's fight back with a big ass fucking, you know, fuck, what's the word for that type of weapon? I don't know. But point is, let's fight back with a big bladed weapon. Like, this might just be me, but horror games where you can fight back or shoot the monster, they don't hit the same. No, I don't really play horror games anyway, nor do I really watch horror stuff, but in my opinion, from what I have seen, the ones where you can fight back just are not this. Like, they don't hit the same.
It is always an extraordinary day. An extraordinary day isn't always good. With that
I gotta
in
stop
mind,
pausing as well.
Today's a bit too extraordinary.
So this is where you are. I wondered where you had gone. You need to start getting ready. It's time to say your goodbyes.
I'm also predicting that this game is gonna have kind of mediocre animations.
What's going on?
Like, once again, the game looks great.
The halls, the doors, everything's
Like,
changed.
everything is probably decent except the animations, which is so annoying. Like, this right now is obviously cinematic, so everything is perfectly animated.
To wake up.
Call of Duty Black Ops 7.
Shall once again run red with your blood.
Raul Menendez ignited global unrest on an unprecedented
Not really
scale.
a fan of shooters, FPSs.
And security to the
I mean, I don't mind them. I play them as well, but
Stop looking backwards, David, but ladders is
shit
what
like
we
Call
do
of Duty.
next.
Again, I'm pretty sure it was always console exclusives. Or like Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, right? Like, I played those as well. So I suppose they weren't console exclusive, but like, I just... If it's like first-person shooters with... or you know, games that are specifically designed to be online and like, you know, multiplayer FPS games. Like, I never played anything multiplayer. I was more of a single player Andy. Seems like this trailer sucks ass, and I thought Call of Duty was supposed to be kind of military stuff, but this is like, you have like futuristic mechs and stuff. You're like wall running and shit. Like, what the fuck am I watching?
Pull it together, man.
So eager to leave, David.
Killing the man is a hell of a lot easier than killing the idea.
You were never cut out to be a Mason.
Yeah, that sucked, not gonna lie. World of Tanks 2.0. I mean, this game, I don't even like. I mean, as much as I like tanks, the problem with games like this is, yeah, I'm guessing they had to like mute everything for copyright, which is good. But yeah, the problem with games like this for me is that it's kind of the same thing that was fuck, what was that game called? The first quadruple A game. The problem with these games is that you can't leave the tank, right? You're controlling the tank and nothing else. If this game was like, you compare this game to, I think it was like Battlefield 6 or whatever. In Battlefield 6 you control your player, and then you can get into a tank or you can get into a vehicle. That's so much better than just only controlling a vehicle, you know? Ghost of Yotei. Sequel to Ghost of Sushi Man. Sushi Man.
Are you going to give me a lie?
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of looking forward to this one. Up until I've been hearing that apparently the voice actress for this character is like a fucking weirdo on Twitter, as well as some other weird shit going on with the development. And I think like Sucker Punch, the developer of this game, also had some problems. Like they were like saying some weird shit or something. I don't know.
Swordsmith's daughter. I watched that tree burn. How did you escape?
Same way. I survived every battle. The thought of killing you.
Ruthless spirits, wandering the land, driven by vengeance. Sometimes I feel like that is what I am.
That one's something to look out for, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the samurai aesthetic is kind of nice, but honestly, I would not say that we actually saw any gameplay. To be honest, we just saw a bunch of, you know, a bunch of little cuts of the character slicing people, but that's not how you're going to be seeing when you're actually playing the game. You know, that's not what you're going to be seeing when you're playing the game. Chronos, the New Dawn.
Are you glad to see me, friend?
Oh, I think I saw someone play this. Or like maybe a demo or something, I don't know. It's like Dead Space, I think, but I could be wrong.
Stay calm.
Maybe it's just not my cup of tea, but again, this whole bloody gore edginess has just become so like overused to me, or at least that's what it feels like. I don't know. Maybe, again, could just be that it's my, you know, personal preference, but I don't know. World of Tanks. Yeah, honestly, okay, let's just, you know, fuck it, skip this. It's probably gonna be no music anyway. Honor of Kings World. Is this gonna be a third-person game?
Such a pathetic place.
Who is this guy? What does he want?
Your ignorance is despicable.
So like some sort of anime game?
A power stirs deep beneath us.
Can we see some...
Whatever's lurking, it's behind this gate.
Ooh, you see those running animations? Ooh, ooh. Reminds me of like a next level Genshin or something. Yeah, I mean...
We have to take it down.
How long have they been trapped in here?
This is basically Genshin, let's be honest.
Be it destiny or chaos, I shall break the...
Not interested, you know, it's... I don't know. Like, again, you know, honestly, I would go on a rant about the fact that I hate a lot of these anime gacha games because their biggest weakness is that they're mobile games. And if they weren't, I feel like anime games, or, you know, games with like anime style and anime models and everything, right? Those games should be the easiest to get very good animations from. Like, you know, these games should be the ones that have the best of the best animations. Because I feel like it would be much easier to animate and just make, whether it's like facial expressions or whatever in cinematics or just in general, animate in general, you know, for like movement animations. I feel like anime games should be the ones that have or focus a lot more on the motion animation, because they don't have to focus so much on graphics, right? Or at least that's the idea. And yet they don't. Because animations require a lot of space, and mobile games need to be kind of small. Otherwise they won't fit on your mobile device. Black Myth Zugong. I never played Black Myth Wukong.
Where's the mountain? Hey, you're falling flat, losing again.
Drop that, Coswallop. Master will take us back, as long as we keep that mountain in our heart.
Hey. No scolding, no flogging, life spared. What risk going back? This place, we've got food on our table and...
Kinda wish they would have just put the, like, I guess Chinese, you know, the Chinese voice acting, and then just put English subtitles. Just kind of feels wrong to hear English. That's a big ass tiger. And of course there's a guy riding on him. That's probably gonna be good. I heard a lot of good things about Black Myth Wukong. The Swords of Legends.
I bid you walk the mortal world once more. Fallen leaves return to their roots. You shall gather the souls that stray.
I've watched over this city for ages, and every name in your scroll of death. Not one of them dies quietly. You, a soulless husk. You can judge my fate.
Okay, another Souls-like, pretty much.
When the artifact can do what Luke's flame cannot.
There's just a lot of them these days. Like pretty much every game that, maybe not every game, but like, I want to say like 50% of all the games that come out these days are Souls-likes. Or like, you know, action combat games that focus on boss fights a lot and parrying and you know, the usual, the Souls-like stuff. At least some of them try to do more in terms of story, because I'm not gonna lie, as good as Dark Souls and Elden Ring are, they have no story. If you think they have story, you're just wrong. They have no story. You know, it's basically just the story is an excuse. They have an excuse of a story. The excuse is there so that you would have something like a reason to fight the bosses. There is no story. But games like what was that game? Oh my god, I am kind of tired right now, right? So like, you know, excuse me for not remembering things, but fuck. How can I not remember what the name of that game was? The fucking the Souls-like game that was very good. Fuck, I can't believe I don't remember the name of the game. That's insane.
What? The soulless husk?
But yeah, that game as well as, you know, these newer games, Souls-like games, they at least try to tell more of a story.
Cast their dead to flame, and sacrifice ignites the war banners!
Here we go again.
I mean, kind of looks good. If it plays well, then I don't see why not. Seems pretty good. Moonlighter 2, the Endless 5. Or the Endless V. Okay, seems like a cozy little adventure game. Not too much of an opinion on that one, to be honest. Inzoi. I've actually been kind of keeping an eye on this one. Ever since the early access came out. Okay, we don't have to. Jesus Christ. But yeah, Inzoi, like, I've been keeping an eye on it. But pretty much everyone, and I haven't bought it yet, but I've gotten close to it. I've gotten pretty close to just sometimes kind of just, you know, taking the plunge. But pretty much every time I check the Steam reviews, everyone kind of says the same thing, which is like, it's a good foundation, but there's no content. So wait for like 2 years. Wait for like a couple of more years for the content to come. And honestly, I mean, yeah, I think I probably will wait, because I mean, I already have waited for a while, because it's been a while now since they've gone into early access, but I mean, yeah, the worst thing would be to like start the game and then you, like an hour or two in, you realize there's literally nothing to do anymore. Ah, Kingdom Come Guys. Kingdom Come Guys 2 Legacy of the Forge. I'm not gonna lie. Again, I could go on a massive tangent here talking about this, but personally, I think Kingdom Come Deliverance would have been an incredible game if they allowed you to just customize your own character. Like, they could have still just told the story of Henry or whatever. You know, you could still be named Henry or whatever, as long as you get to customize your own character. And they could have given you the choice of playing a female character as well, like Henrietta or whatever, I don't know. And just told the exact same story. Now, with a female character, you might say, oh yeah, you know, they're trying to stay historically accurate, but like, that argument doesn't really hold water, considering their first DLC of the first game was literally you playing a woman, right? So it's like bruh, like what the fuck, right?
Honored friends, masters of the blacksmith guild, let me introduce a young master of our craft and new owner of Kutenberg's old forge, Henry of Skalitz.
Ready? We can begin.
There's some DLC, I suppose, of Kingdom Come Guys. Fate Trigger.
Awakeners, prepare for the final confrontation.
Another gacha game, I'm guessing. Holy. I'm definitely looking at look at those guns. You know, I await the one day when I'm gonna get a actually serious anime game. And by serious I mean like that they don't put characters that like are obviously like very cutesy. You know, like an actual serious anime game. Cult of the Lamb. Woolhaven. Interesting how in 10 seconds a game that has a more cartoony art style than the previous anime game is already seemingly a lot more serious in tone than the more realistic anime game that we just saw earlier. This might be very cartoony, but like immediately you feel like it's a little bit more serious. Then again, it was just a cutscene. And cinematic. Who knows? I don't really have an opinion. I don't really play those types of games. Europa Universalis. 5. Never played the previous 4 games. I assume it's an RTS game. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is probably one of the few that I've never played. One of the few series of like RTS games that I've never played. I've played pretty much everything else. Well, okay, I shouldn't say everything else, but a lot of the more popular ones I've played.
A world where we are the one and only human race!
I'm afraid your friends came far too late.
I see the years haven't been kind.
I know about the Alpha. Why is she here?
Okay. Skip. Like, whatever the fuck that was, no. Just don't even care. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando.
You see my new toy?
Okay, just another first-person kill-em-all game.
I need some first.
Why? That hurt me. Honestly, that was pretty generic. Pretty average. Like, I'm pretty sure we've seen like at least 4 of those types of games already in this one video. Zero Parades.
Relentless. Magnetic.
Her name was Herschel. Dark gold hair, a well-worn life beneath. A dandelion puff, waiting to be blown. She tried to look out for me. For us. None of it mattered in the end. Everything she touched rippled into failure.
No idea what that was.
The automated industry complex will be the link, connecting and uniting every fragment of this shattered world.
Gotcha game, obviously.
This is the driving force that will keep us going. Continuous
Never played,
improvement is
but I've heard
for keeping pace with
people play it.
advancements in technology.
I mean,
Enfield. We don't simply talk about our dreams. We do what we can to make them a reality. All operators accounted for. The team is ready for the mission.
you see how interesting it could be, right? If this wasn't a mobile gacha game. Like, imagine we actually got like this type of serious war-torn world, like an anime of that, or like a video game that was kind of like this, kind of like Nier Automata. Neo Berlin, 2087.
Did you know that black holes are extremely dense objects with such strong gravitational force that nothing can escape them?
Nerd! Who asked? Literally no one.
You ever wonder if we're the ones pulling the strings?
Nope.
Or just living inside someone else's dream?
Nope.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Even if this is a simulation, the pain still feels real.
Neo Berlin, what do I really know about it? She's like you. She needs your help.
I followed every thread, reconstructed memories. None of it fits.
Okay, the gameplay, the first-person gameplay looks decent, but holy shit, whoever put this trailer together has no idea what the fuck they're doing.
You think you're solving the case. This is so much bigger. What if the case is you?
What is it? What is that? What the fuck is that? Did they like hire their local janitor to do voice work? So what, they're basically just doing Max Payne?
With order. Without order, chaos breaks out. It's out of balance and we must restore it. Do you understand that, Nolan?
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie, that game has no idea what it's doing, or like, the game wants to be everything. First person, third person, like horror, shooter, whatever the fuck else. I feel like you're kind of losing your identity when you're trying to do everything. 7 Deadly Sins Origin. I've seen the first season of the anime. That's about it. I'm not gonna lie, the anime, in my opinion, went to shit. I stopped giving a shit when the one normal girl that was supposed to be normal, the one normal one in the group, turned out to be basically the chosen one and also be very powerful and have super special powers. And it's like, bruh, for fuck's sake, not every character in your story needs to be special. It seems kind of like I don't understand why they keep doing shit like this. Like, if you wanna, if you see like an anime or a story or something, and you're like, oh, that's a cool world. When people see like for instance, let me give you an example, right? When people say that, dude, look at Sword Art Online. I would like to be in Sword Art Online. That idea is cool. When they say, I want to be in Sword Art Online, they don't mean I want to play through the story of Sword Art Online, the anime, as Kirito. They say that they want to be in the world of Sword Art Online. Not as Kirito, but as their own character. Meeting, like having their own journeys and everything. They don't mean, like, when a person says, I would like to be in the world of Lord of the Rings, they don't mean that they want to play through the fucking, the Fellowship of the Ring storyline. They don't want to be in the Fellowship of the Ring. They want to be in the world that is, the Middle Earth. They don't they don't want to play through the story that they saw in the movies. For some reason, they think, a lot of these companies think that people want to play through the story, the same story that they've already seen. No, we don't. We don't want that. We want to play through some sort of new story, but just takes place in that world as our own character. So here, maybe, they thought, oh, Seven Deadly Sins universe, that's a great idea. Except it's all about the fucking same characters and everything. Why not just tell your own story?
CBT 募集が始まるってよ。絶対参加してくれよな。
Good morning, Commander.
PVKK.
The cooperative state has honored me with the supervision of your well-being. Get you back up to speed before our lives are on the line. Glad to see you've not lost your touch.
Some sort of management game where you're like a manager managing a turret or something.
They wish to eliminate this facility.
I feel like this would be pretty decent in VR.
Now, a trailer for the part of the game.
The Outer Worlds 2.
The ending.
I played the first game.
The companions. Let's skip the diplomacy.
I'm not gonna lie, the first game was kinda very mediocre. From what I remember, which I don't remember a lot considering, and that's probably saying something, because if I don't remember anything of it, or barely anything, that means it wasn't really memorable.
Chemically enhancing your statistically unsafe lifestyle. This might sting a lot.
Ooh, an enemy. Son of a spread.
I'm not gonna lie, all the characters look so bad.
Be grateful you're not on fire.
The animations are very bad. The character designs are honestly kind of shit, like dog shit level.
No, you can't sleep with them.
Yeah, that's just bad. That's just really bad. Neverness. I think I think I actually reacted to a trailer to this. There's another gacha game, anime gacha game. This is the one that was, you know, people were saying that is like anime GTA. But unfortunately, I think even in that trailer that I watched, I mentioned that they need to add collision physics, and this will be the downfall of this game, because it's gonna try to be a mobile game. In other words, they're never gonna add collision physics, because it would lag out any kind of mobile game, or you know, any kind of mobile phone. And it would require way too many animations. But in general, yeah, like any collision physics, they're just not gonna have. Like if they actually pulled it off and they actually put collision physics in the game, this might actually be something to check out, but they're not going to. Outlaws Remaster. Holy shit! Did we go back in time for like, for about like 25 years? Jesus Christ. Somehow I really doubt this game will even run on a fucking on a fucking 4090 or 5090 or whatever. Somehow. You know, games these days, they don't run on anything. You can probably only get like max like 25 FPS on a fucking 5090.
Once a lawman, always a lawman.
Road Kings. Once again, no audio, eh? And it's not, you know, it's not me doing anything, it's just that there's no audio in this video. I'm guessing it has to do with driving a truck. So it's basically truck simulator, but you get like paid, I guess. I've always wanted to try something like this, but I never have. Anyway, he just drives the truck. Let's just skip. Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not gonna lie, and this will probably be the most hot take in this video. Maybe I shouldn't say this, but I probably will. I think Monster Hunter is dog shit. The reason I think Monster Hunter is dog shit, and by Monster Hunter I mean the franchise overall, is because they keep repeating the same game over and over and over and over and over. If a game keeps rehashing itself over and over and over, with literally the same engine, with the same animations, with the, like, I'm sorry, but if you like take a game like Monster Hunter and then you come up with a sequel and I see the exact same fucking animations in your sequel, like, what? What? What do you mean I see the exact same fucking animations, like the attack animations and attack combo animations that we had in the previous game? What do you mean we're seeing literally the same creatures that we saw in the previous game with the same exact moveset and everything? Like, what do you mean? That's insane. That's insanely fucking lazy. Like, literally, like, oh my god, like, how, what? And that's why I think Monster Hunter games are dog shit, or, you know, the franchise itself is dog shit, because, like, you play one game, you play one Monster Hunter game, you've played them all. And I have played a Monster Hunter game. And from what I see every single time, it's like all the games are just the exact same game. Period. I'm not gonna lie, this looks very bad. Like, why does it look so bad? Like, I'm not gonna lie, this straight up looks like PS2, PS3 graphics. Right? I don't know. Indiana Jones.
Giant guardians. Their roots go way, way back. Worshipped by the Mithras cult.
I can't believe you dare to investigate this.
Impressive for a snake.
Okay, so it's like a first-person...
Semper Vivus.
First-person Indiana Jones game. Could be interesting.
Not dead. He's not in a tomb.
I mean, a lot more interesting than most of the other shit that we've seen this far. Routine. I'm definitely in a routine of seeing a bunch of bad games in this video. Maybe it's just, you know, maybe I've been in the scene too long. Like, all these games, every single game starts feeling like shit that you've seen before, you know? When you've played games for who knows how long, like 25 years, you kind of start feeling like everything is something that you've seen before already. I'm not saying that, you know, games have to be like completely original or anything, but like oh, so it's a game where the camera is constantly going up, and so you have to like, yeah, that's interesting. An interesting concept. Ultimately, it's still a MMO maker game, so, or RPG maker game. MMO, fucking what the fuck? RPG maker game.
Streaming network is expanding.
Nice imagery.
To score eyeballs, I need talent.
Now that is efficient exposition.
The biggest, baddest bastards recruited across time and space. They require persuasion.
Look who it is.
Skip. I mean, I like Deadpool, but you didn't even get Ryan Reynolds to voice act him? Come on. Fucking weak. You're weak. Don't care. Long gone. Up your mother's vagina. Last night. That's right. Interesting art style. But that's what makes it unique. That one I'm actually kind of interested in. Strangely enough. Probably wouldn't play it, but I wouldn't be surprised if you know, if I were to see it somewhere, like someone play it somewhere. In terms of like, you know, streamers. What in the fuck is this? What the fuck am I watching? I think this is like people, someone looked at that, what was the name of that game? that stupid like scroller game that people put in this, you know, yep, exactly that, right? That fucking scroller game where you know, people put into their videos so that Zoomer kids can pay attention to what they're saying. Or that's the joke anyway.
Froze. Like time.
I guess they just really like shit happening on the screen, so they just put everything on the screen.
I'm holding its breath.
Permafrost. Okay, survival game with building, guns.
I saved a dog once. He saved me.
There's a dog? You can pet it. Seems like it's co-op.
Somewhere in the frost, we started again. Not as builders, as believers.
Interesting that it's in the snow. I don't think I've seen like a survival
wasn't
game
fire that
in the
buried
snow
us.
yet.
It was snow.
Like a survival game like this, anyway. This might be interesting.
The world ended not in flames, but in silence and frost.
I don't like the idea that it might be
Used to
like
sound different.
PvP though.
Whispering wind and rustling grass. I've
Honeycomb,
only ever
the
heard
world
them on
beyond.
recordings. The planet has been slowly wasting away for generations. In the end, we became prisoners of our arcs. My brother was obsessed with the old world. A world where we lived in nature. I promised I'd do my best to bring it back. I was working hard to get into the labs.
Heard.
That's when the news about Operation Honeycomb broke out. Could we find salvation in the stars? Would
Stars.
I ever see the Earth covered in green?
Nah, probably not.
Vital signs stable.
Okay, so what? It's kind of like Subnautica, but not underwater? I mean, maybe. So far I haven't, you know, nothing has really popped out to me. Like, none of these games I would actually, like, go out of my way to buy. It's a flying magical monkey. Wait, why did I say monkey? Fucking frog. Jesus. I'm tired. I'm really tired, actually. I've done an all-nighter. Not really interested in that type of game. What the fuck?
Whoa, what's happening? He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl Destruction coming soon to all platforms?
Yes, it's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction. Intense beat-em-up action that puts the power in your hands. Grab a friend and fight for Eternia with 4 players.
Skip.
You know I've only got one brain cell, right? And it's working overtime.
Animals hiding in the shadows, trying to satisfy our needs.
Interesting how in the video, you can't see it right now, but basically exactly where I skipped to is most replayed.
But now
because of course
it's
it
time
is.
to rebuild and take back what is
Vampires,
ours,
Blood Lord
using
Rising.
people like tools that they are.
So it's basically Pal World except with people.
Rise, Bloodlord.
Seems like it's kind of like very amateurish, amateur-esque type of game. Yeah, I'm not gonna look at Lego Batman.
With the Hayabusa clan in the spotlight.
Ninja Gaiden 4.
But your clan, the Raven clan, has always
Again,
had a secret
I'm
motive.
guessing a bunch of fighting. Let's just skip this. I don't really care. We've already seen a bunch of fighting games.
No respite.
Warhammer 40k Dawn of War.
We are the wrath of the Emperor, his angels of death. But the Imperium lies broken, its armies scattered and reeling.
Our foes rise to drag us down, and the galaxy has been torn asunder. On the world of Cronus, we make our stand. We are the Blood Ravens. There is no victory to claim here. Only vengeance to enact.
I'm not gonna lie. I think, like, I don't know anything about Warhammer 40k, but I think the problem I have with this franchise is that, as far as I know, there's no, like, one game that just introduces you to the lore. Right? Like, there's no... I mean, maybe there is, but, like, you know, you hear all kinds of, oh, you know, Warhammer 40k figurines, Warhammer 40k, you know, game over here, then you have another different type of game over there, then you have Warhammer, some other Warhammer stuff, right? And it's like, there's no, seemingly, for a complete, you know, beginner, for a complete noob who has no idea about anything for Warhammer 40k, like, what's the one game that introduces me to the whole universe, right? Like, what is the introductory first game? Because I
we fight.
It doesn't seem like there is one.
For only in death does duty end.
Dawn of War. Pretty sure this is the last one as well. Ultimately, I would say, I mean, we only had maybe a couple that I'm actually kind of somewhat interested in. Everything else just feels, I'm not gonna lie, so many of these games today feel like they're just, they're fucking, I don't know. I don't want to say copying things that have come before, but I mean, am I the only one who just gets this feeling like whenever I could click on any of these games and immediately it's like you've seen that game before. Like, maybe not that game specifically, but the style, right? Like the style, the vibe, the type of game it is. Like, everyone kind of just does the same thing. This is why I believe that story in video games is becoming more and more important, because at least the story will separate your game from others. But yeah, like, a lot of people, or a lot of these companies are prioritizing gameplay over story, which makes them just feel like every other game. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Seems like there just isn't, and if you paid attention, where are the RPGs? Anyone? I don't know how many games there were in here. Maybe like 40 or 50. I'm pretty sure there was not a single RPG in this game, or in this video. Like, there are games with RPG elements, and there was the you know, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 DLC, but that's not a game, right? That was just kind of like blacksmithing DLC or something. There was not a single RPG in this whole video, except maybe Ghost of Yotei. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I would consider that more of a action you know, action combat game, not an RPG. But yeah, I don't think there was a single RPG in this game. Why do we keep saying game in this video? The only types of games there were were action combat games. I don't know. Not a single RPG. Larian, where are you? I need you back. Please. I'm getting old. I need you, Larian. When's your next game coming out, please? All right. Well, that was that. Let us go on to the next thing. Next video. I don't know how long I'm going to keep going, but I do have a couple of videos that I want to watch here. Next video is a completely different topic here. I saw this video by CoffeeZilla about the Jeffrey Epstein situation. This came out in about a week ago. I've kind of softly been keeping up with what's been going on with the Jeffrey Epstein thing. I don't really know much about the guy, other than the fact that he was apparently a pedophile and had an island or something and quote-unquote killed himself, but not really. And clearly something is being covered up. And Donald Trump ran for president. One of the things he ran on was that he would release the Epstein files, but has not. So yeah, let's see what this Epstein's birthday book is, shall we?
Today, the Jeffrey Epstein birthday book got released. 238 pages of letters.
Hang on. Let me just move myself. Okay.
To Jeffrey Epstein, most of them are about sex. If you remember, we extensively covered the Wall Street Journal scoop that Jeffrey Epstein's friends put together letters commissioned by Ghislaine Maxwell, and one of those letters included Donald Trump, although they also included Alan Dershowitz, Lex Wexner, Bill Clinton, Leon Black. Now, in response, Trump sued the Wall Street Journal over $10 billion, which also means he sued Rupert Murdoch, the guy who runs Fox News, the New York Post, Sky News. And this is all because Donald Trump denied everything and said, I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words. Here's his official response. He sued them, of course. And then, of course, we found out that he does draw pictures, turns out, and signs his name on them. But the really important update was that the New York Times corroborated that Trump's name was on the Epstein birthday book, and specifically, the Epstein estate had it in their possession, and we're going to turn it over. And today, that's exactly what happened, or the House committee released it to the public.
The question is, was there anything in this book to begin with?
Now, I want to be clear, although a lot of talk today is going to be spent on this...
Because ultimately, it doesn't really matter how much Trump or any of these other people were involved with Mr. Epstein. Ultimately, like, just because you I don't know, you said hi or you had a brief conversation with someone doesn't mean that you're now, like, involved with them when they commit a crime, you know?
Drawing. It's far from the only one. Really, the reason this is such a big story is the blatant denial by the president, saying just it never happened, which is the weird thing, because of course he was friends with Epstein and Ghislaine. Everybody admits that, including Trump. It's just the letter itself. He's saying, no way it happened. That's not me. I don't do it. So that's the reason there's a lot of focus.
But it was
on the
him, and
president.
it did
But
do
let's
it.
be clear, this book is about a lot more than just the president. There's a lot of powerful people implicated in this. This is the start of it. You see, it's a leather-bound book written by Ghislaine Maxwell. There are redactions to third parties. Some of the friends mentioned is Ron Altbach, Leon Black, Jean-Luc Brunel, Bill Clinton, Alan Dershowitz, Bill Elkis, Bran Frennan, Nick Leese, Peter Mandelson, George Mitchell, Nathan Mervold, and the list goes on and on, notably also Leslie Wexner, Donald Trump. And this is all available online. Like, there's no denying that this exists.
But is
you
there
can see
any
it has
actual...
a bunch of never-before-released pictures of Epstein, his family, things like that. There are redactions of certain women in the pictures in compromising positions, but otherwise, mostly unredacted, honestly. I'm pretty impressed with how much we got of the famous birthday book. And it is full of revelations. I think the most obvious one is that all of Jeffrey's friends, or most of them, were aware of his interests. They talked extensively about how much he loves the ladies, the young ladies. But there's also an interesting mention of his Vanity Fair profile. This is from Leon Black, where he calls him a Vanity Fair poster child. And that is soon followed by Alan Dershowitz's alleged letter, where he says, "Dear Jeffrey, as a birthday gift to you, I managed to obtain an early version of the Vanity Unfair article. I talked them into changing the focus from you to Bill Clinton, as you will see in the enclosed excerpt. Happy birthday and best regards." What makes this so interesting is what he's referring to, I believe, is a 2003 profile on Jeffrey Epstein. The article is called The Talented Mr. Epstein by Vicky Ward, and it's sort of become famous for the fact that now there's been this meta commentary about how Vicky Ward had early allegations of abuse by Epstein and was not able to run them. She accuses the paper of not running them. There's some dispute over this. Vicky Ward basically says she had two women who presented allegations. By early December, weeks before the article closed, in mid-December, she was discussing the farmers with fact checkers, and they were looking for photos. Ultimately, the editor said he didn't trust her. He didn't want to run those.
I'm not gonna lie, I think this is just a massive misdirection. Is there anything in here that actually implicates anybody other than people just kind of saying that they were involved with Epstein? Anything. Like, sure, one guy says, "Oh, you know, my birthday gift to you is that I got like a news article changed to someone else that, you know, was kind of bad-mouthing you. Haha, happy birthday." It's like, that's not illegal, I don't think. Like, what are we talking about here? Is there anything actually incriminating in this book? And I think he would, you know, he would have already said so if there was.
Allegations.
At this point, I think this book just basically confirmed what we already knew, which is a lot of people knew the guy, and most likely Trump also knew the guy. And I mean, we already kind of knew that, right?
But now that we have this backstory, I mean, that's all things that have been public for a long time. That has been a big question. Why was this article killed? Well, now we have in this book a discussion of this killed article. And by the way, when you look at what Alan Dershowitz is saying, they changed the focus to from you to Bill Clinton. We do see that Bill Clinton shows up in this article. So the timeline really does match up. Over and over, his friends seem to be joking about an article where allegations almost ran about Jeffrey Epstein and ultimately did not. Most of them seem to be very well aware he likes the ladies, he likes them young. So I hope this finally puts to bed the lone trafficker.
I'm gonna say something here. Liking the ladies, liking them young, does not immediately indicate that someone's a pedophile, right? Like, yes, it's been confirmed that he was, but when someone says something like that, where it's like, oh, he likes them ladies young, that usually means, like, I think like 19 to 25, right? In that range. Jesus. Dying over here. But yeah, like, that usually means 19 to 25. That's what that usually means. When someone says, like a 35 to 40-year-old guy likes the ladies young, that's usually what they mean, like 19 or 20 to 25. It's the, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio thing where he, likes to date people under 25, and that's a whole meme. So if, people say that that Epstein liked them young, that's like, they could just be repeating what he himself has said, But again, I don't know.
Theory that everyone
And ultimately, it's not really anything to go on. Again,
was going to him for tax advice. But of course, we also need to talk about Donald Trump's letter. And unfortunately, this is where the response gets a lot more polarizing. Depending on where you sit on the aisle, people have been having all sorts of reactions to this, with a lot of people saying, okay, well, then case closed. He wrote it, right? Like, obviously, he was friends with the guy. Everybody else in there aren't there denying writing these letters. He wrote it. His signature's on here. But the official press secretary at the White House said that, once again, it is false. They're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down, saying, as I've said all along, it's very clear President Trump did not draw this picture. He did not sign it. Trump's legal team will continue to aggressively pursue litigation. And then you have this guy who's the deputy White House chief of staff saying, time for News Corp to open that checkbook. It's not his signature. Defamation. And then they screenshot some photos of Donald Trump signing his name and saying, look, it's not the same signature. And you know what? That's pretty true. It's not the same signature. We'll get to that, because at the same time that was getting released, they were denying, oh, look at these signatures that are different. We also had the New York Times and Wall Street Journal also put out.
brother, this is the same signature. Like, I'm very interested to know, like, am I the only one who just can't replicate my signature the exact same way every single time? If you showed me one of these, and then 5 seconds later you showed me a different one of these, I would say, yeah, that's probably the same signature. 100%. I mean, they're close enough to where, like, I could see this being the same guy, just, doing the same signature. Just, it's not the same. Like, this one here and this one on the right here, they're the same one. Just, the strokes go a little differently, or like you can't control. You can't make the same exact signature exactly the same way every single time. You just can't.
Signature comparisons with some different signature choices that look very similar. This is the official Epstein one right here. Here's a letter to Bill Gates. Here's a letter to New York City officials, Rudy Giuliani. Here's another New York City official. And then we also have letters to Conway, to Clinton. And you have this kind of
And
textbook
as for the people next to Trump saying that, oh, it's fake and everything like that. If Trump himself says to them, because he's the president, by the way, if you didn't know, if he tells them that, oh no, I didn't do it, it's fake, what are they going to do? Not believe him? Obviously, they're going to believe him, right? They have to believe him. He's the fucking president. Obviously, they're going to believe him. So when he says, doesn't matter if he's lying or telling the truth, if he says that he didn't do it, they have to take it as he's telling the truth. They have to believe him. So based off of what he says, they go to the public and say, nope, it's fake. He says he didn't do it, so, he didn't do it.
Long trail, a very tight vertical signature. I mean, To me, that's pretty compelling. Unless we're arguing for a professional forgery job here, which I don't think has even been alleged. Like, this is nearly identical, all these signatures. Like, I would believe that is all within the realm of the regular differences in a signature, right? It's not some completely different signature we've never seen before. But it didn't take long for people to take up what the White House's official statement is saying, because influencers have now run with it, saying, does the below look like the actual signature from the president? I don't think so at all. Fake. Showing once again that, yes, the president has at various times signed signatures differently, of course. I don't think anyone disputes that. And sure, you can find some signatures that look different. Here's Eric Daughtery saying, the Wall Street Journal has just published that letter Trump sent to Epstein. It's not even his signature. Defamation, pay up. This guy says Trump is going to bankrupt Wall Street Journal. Benny Johnson says time to sue them into oblivion, which again is crazy because the guy they're talking about, they're suing, is also like one of their biggest allies, Rupert Murdoch, the guy who runs Fox News. I mean, it's definitely infighting at best. Now, of course, we got to read the message again now that we actually have it in its full context. We have voiceover, must be more to life than having everything. Yes, there is. I won't tell you what it is, nor will I. Since I know what it is, we have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. We all know this. And then the famous line, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. So, look, there's also an analysis put together by the Wall Street Journal, the people who originally reported this. I think that's worth going over.
What that exchange just told me is that they were this, if you've ever seen Death Note, right? The anime, not the movie, the anime. This reads like a code. This, like, if this is supposed to be a exchange of messages, this doesn't seem real, you know? Like, it doesn't read like a conversation, you know? I would bet that this is some sort of messaging.
Common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. We all know this. And then the famous line.
Like this is like something that if two, only the two of them know what they're talking about, and so they can kind of hint at it, but no one else knows what they're talking about, so no one really knows what they're talking about.
Line. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. So, look, there's also an analysis put together by the Wall Street Journal, the people who originally reported this. I think that's worth going over. They decided to look at various times that Donald Trump has expressed similar writing. For example, they talk about Trump talking in the third person. They say, look, here's video clips of him talking about himself in the third person. It's not weird for him to do that. There's also word choices of enigma. They point out that he's used enigma multiple times in books. We've also covered him saying it in video. Then there's also a wonderful thing. A pal is a wonderful thing. That's the line. Well, has he said that before? Yes. He's definitely said that before. So all in all, the reporting seems solid to me. I mean,
it's got to be the most dumbest fucking quote-unquote analysis I've ever seen. Like, why the fuck are we even going over that in that way? Like, oh my god, has he ever said the word enigma before? Wow. It's like if I write the word enigma in something that like a book that I write, and then I release the book, and then someone reads over the book and is like, oh my god, I don't believe this guy has ever said the word enigma in any kind of public video or anything. This book must have been written by AI. Must have, right? There's no way. I've never seen him say the word enigma before. Must be AI, must be true. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is.
You can
like, what exactly are they even analyzing by doing that? Has he ever done that? Has he ever said that before? Like, what? What?
On to the copium here, but really you're arguing that the entire book is either all fake, which that's the first option, in which case, like, it may be the greatest forgery of all time, or you're saying specifically that it's just the Trump part that's a forgery, and every other part.
I mean, ultimately, I guess what he's in the end saying here is that the people in the White House, they lied saying that it's fake when it's obviously true. I suppose the question is, why would they lie? Considering, you know, what's in the book doesn't seem to be that incriminating, or at least seems, you know, kind of innocuous enough to where it's not really anything big. So why lie? Could just be Trump being Trump, right? He kind of, one sec. He kind of just throws lies sometimes, you know, out in the open sometimes for no real reason. But on the flip side, like I said, there could be some sort of messaging that he feels like maybe someone will eventually figure out. Then it will become a problem. And so he, you know, to get in front of that, he already, once it comes out, once the book comes out, he already says, "Oh no, it's fake."
The part
because he anticipates that someone will figure out the code, or someone will figure out something, or he anticipates maybe potentially, if he's not lying, right? If he's not just lying for no reason, if he anticipates that in the future, people will figure out whatever the code was or whatever, if there was a code, then he might be in big trouble.
Bill Clinton's writing in, the part where all these other people we knew that were also associated with Epstein were writing in. You're saying all of that's real, but the part about Donald Trump is not. And that was a forgery inserted in. So it's a very strange argument. And because this was all a carefully bound book, the idea that it was just inserted in, it couldn't really have been. It was bound by a specific bookbinder. So, you know, I think it's all credible. I mean, personally, I look at the facts. I look at what we know of the various people, how this all unfolded, the fact that it came from the estate we thought it would come from, the fact it included a variety of politicians, powerful people. It wasn't just singling out Trump, but Trump is the only one who has denied it. Now, lastly, I want to talk about the latest statement by our government. We all know the various stages of grief we've been through with this story. First, it was a cover-up, then they're going to release everything, then there's nothing to release, then it's a hoax, and now we have a new level of copium. We are descending into Davy Jones' locker level of copium, and here we have it. This is from Speaker Mike Johnson.
He is horrified. It's been misrepresented. He's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
Wow.
FBI informant? Huh? Huh? What?
Donald Trump was an FBI informant, according to Speaker Mike Johnson. So all of this birthday book stuff, all of this was actually, if you believe our government, it was part of an official plot to capture Jeffrey Epstein, the world's most notorious pedophile. This whole photo. But now, I guess we're so deep undercover, we can't cop to it yet. We can't admit we have the entire government running cover for us with influencers telling people, oh, it's not his signature, even though there very clearly are signatures that look identical. So it's crazy. I just hope our glorious president can one day come out of his FBI informant role and tell us all how he took down the world's most notorious. I can't wait for that one. That big one. Maybe he can write us a letter about it.
Actually, I wanted
telling people running cover. We can't admit we have the entire government.
You see this? So, if we think about this logically for a second, right? Like I said earlier, a couple of things just don't make sense, right? First things first, why are they lying? Why is he lying? Why is he saying that it's fake? There has to be a reason. If there's nothing seemingly incriminating about the letter, then why lie, right? There has to be a reason why he lies. In this case, let's say. What could possibly be the reason for him to lie if there's no reason to lie, seemingly? Well, he lies because there is something incriminating, potentially, right? There is a reason to lie. It's just that we don't know what the reason is yet. So, the fact that he himself is lying could mean that he is essentially telling us that there is something that, you know, incriminates him inside this letter. Right? But then, you know, we look at the letter. I assume this was the letter, like the drawing of the woman's body was part of the letter, right? Why a woman's body? And if you look closely here, the signature is exactly where the woman's, you know, nether region is. Coincidence? Maybe. Maybe not. But once again, like I said earlier, this does not read like an exchange. This reads like code. And, well, if we put that together with what we said just earlier, if there is something in this letter that is potentially incriminating, then it being a code of some kind makes sense, right? Like, he knows that it's a code. Trump, I mean. He knows it's a code. And he knows that if someone ever figures it out, then it's a problem. And if he then says, you know, if he gets accused of something based off of this being a code, and then he says, oh no, it's fake, then it's too late. So what does he do? Before anyone even figures anything out, he already immediately says, oh no, it's fake. You know? Now again, you know, I'm not necessarily a conspiracy theorist, but, you know, I try to use logic, and when some things just don't make sense, you kind of gotta make them make sense. You know? Regardless, I mean, good video. I had no idea what the Epstein birthday book was, but now I do, apparently. Fucking Ghislaine Maxwell apparently had a actual book. You know, usually whenever they say whenever they say like, oh, Epstein list or whatever, you know, it's not usually an actual list. It's more like files, you know. But yeah. CoffeeZilla definitely, or in this case, Voidzilla. I'm glad that I'm glad that he is following the story. You know, him and Charlie, Penguin Zero, Moist Critical, both of them kind of following the story, never letting people forget that we still want those Epstein files, you know? And speaking of Moist Critical, we move on to our next video, which is Penguin Zero. You don't hate Nintendo enough. I don't know what this is about. I assume it's about Nintendo. Nintendo is always, let's just say, they're a bunch of fucking assholes. And I'm guessing they once again did something extremely asshole-ish. But before we start, give me a second real quick. I need to... All right. You don't hate Nintendo enough by Moist Critical.
You all know I'm not a big Nintendo enthusiast. Love their games, hate the company. I have not...
I don't even like their games. Honestly, I hate their games. Considering, well, I mean, I've never played a single one. Well, actually... No, yep, I have not played a single one. I was thinking of Konami. I've played a Konami game, but I don't think I've ever played a Nintendo game. Once again, console people, you know, console exclusive type of games. Never owned a console, so yeah, I've never played a single console game.
I bought a Nintendo product in a long time now, and I don't...
Also, I'm not gonna lie, I think Pokemon is extremely overrated. Pokemon and Mario, like, I don't really understand why people like them so much. I really don't. Also, hang on. I want to go back to this side. Okay.
Don't have any plans on starting anytime soon. I just do not agree with the company's business practices. Full stop. And I am proven time and time again to be on the correct side of history with this personal decision of mine. I cannot stand this company. I'm sure a lot of you are seeing the headlines right now about how Nintendo has successfully filed a patent in the US on summoning a character and letting it fight another. Basically,
did he say successfully?
How Nintendo has successfully filed a
How? Didn't they? For fuck's sake. Wasn't there also like a fucking thing? This is, oh my god. Didn't they previously try, oh my, like, fuck, where do I even begin? All these fucking absolute fucking dumb fucks who try to, like, copyright or patent with like an idea or some sort of word or some sort of like very basic mechanic. Like just fuck you, you know, like legitimately, just like fuck you. Straight up. Sit on a fat one, you know? Just really. First it's fucking, you know, like a YouTube channel trying to copyright the word react. Then you have fucking what was I don't remember which company it was, but the one that owns the Lord of the Rings side story video game franchise, something Mordor, Shadow of Mordor or whatever, Shadow of something. They patented the Nemesis system, so no one else can do that, right? It was a great system, and then they patented the idea, and then no one else can do that system, and they themselves don't do that system anymore in any game, or they just don't continue the franchise anymore. So it's like, fucking hell. And then I think Nintendo tried to patent something else, or maybe they already had a patent of, like throwing a ball and then capturing a creature inside the ball or something, and then they got on Pal World's ass. And then you have also fuck, what was the I think I saw it in one of Internet Historian's videos, where I think it was the In Good Inning, No Man's Sky video, where he talked about how there's some company that trademarked the word sky. So No Man's Sky was like in big trouble for a while, in a big legal battle. It's like, how do these companies get away with this shit? Like, legitimately.
Patent in the US on summoning a character and letting it fight another. Basically,
it cannot be that simple, right? Summoning a character and letting it fight another. Like, this, there's no way it is that simple. It cannot be that simple. There is literally no fucking way that they actually got the patent for summoning a character and letting it fight another. There is no fucking way that they got that in exactly this wording. There's got to be more to it. Because if they got it just like this, summoning a character and letting it fight another, that is the essence of a summoner. And there are probably thousands of games that have a character, summoning a character and letting it fight another. Like, thousands.
Basically, the media is claiming that this patent is going to stop other games from having summoning that will allow the summon to follow you and fight others for you, which is
It will. No. Actually, it won't to a certain degree. It will when it comes to something like Pal World or games that are by indie companies or like single individuals who don't have a lot of money, but their game becomes very popular. Then it will become a problem, and Nintendo will try to fuck them. Because they can. Now, if it's a big company, then I think Nintendo will probably maybe contact them privately and not push for any legal battle, because, they realize they would also be getting hit with a lot of legal fees, most likely. So they're not going to do that against like another big company. But again, if like an indie company or an individual, there's no way. There's got to be more to it. I just can't believe that they would be able to get away with this.
A very basic gameplay mechanic for tons and tons and tons of games. Summoning has been a staple in gaming since the beginning of time, since the the first couple of cavemen banging stones together, thinking of video games in his head. Summoning has just always been there. Obviously, this is laser focused on Pal World because Nintendo is deep on that case. They're pulling out all the stops. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to recruit God Almighty to come down and smite Pal World HQ for the sin of stepping on Pokemon's creature-catching toes. But tons of people are worried with the way that the patent is currently filed that this will hit things far beyond just creature-catching games. It will hit tons of products that have summoning as a mechanic, which is a very basic gameplay element. So things like Final Fantasy, Shin Megami Tensei.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like this is what I'm saying. There's no way that they would be able to get this patent. It's not possible. That's why I'm so like there has to be more to this. There's no fucking way.
Persona, or even classes in video games that use pets and minions. So like Diablo with Necromancy, World of Warcraft with Hunter, where you'd summon your pets to go attack the bad guys, that kind of thing. They believe that this patent is also potentially going to have ramifications.
If it's as simple as they made it seem,
which again
then
is a very basic gameplay element that games have used for decades. And I've now read through the patent, suffered through all of those pages because I could not believe that this would even be something that could be successfully filed because it's unenforceable. Like, you can't expect every game that uses summoning to now not be able to do that because they'd, be fucking suckling.
It's not about enforcing. It's about having control, right? So they can essentially, they're not going to enforce this until they want to, right? Until they see like a target worth enforcing it against, like Pal World. If a game comes out and does summoning too well, and it becomes really popular, then they're gonna bring out the whole, we own this patent, you can't do this, change it now. They'll basically just pick and choose whoever they want to kill, for lack of a better word.
Off the teat of Nintendo's patent.
It's
There's
just about
no
control.
World where that would actually go through properly. It couldn't. And after the agonizing misery of going through all of these pages, which at times feel unnecessarily bloated in explanations, especially their background, like, Jesus Christ, you could have boiled that down to like a page or two. Like, holy shit, that's like me explaining a peanut butter and jelly in like fucking 2,000 words. But like, I went through all of this, and it seems like a lot of it is pretty specific. Though I do think there is wiggle room for some broad interpretations of the filing. It seems like what they are specifically claiming are kind of pretty like laser guided on Pal World itself. It seems like they're mainly just using patents as a weapon solely for Pal World. But I do think it opens the door that there could be some problems down the line in other avenues. But I would be very surprised.
I would imagine what they're doing is exactly, like he said, against Pal World, right? Like, let's be honest. You look at Pal World, and it's very, very similar to what Pokemon is. And most likely, they don't like that. Nintendo does not like that. The big N word does not like that. And most likely, to them, these patents are a way of using them as weapons against people and companies who develop games that are like a little bit too similar to the Pokemon or their games.
Nice to see this patent actually having an effect on any games currently out there that aren't Pal World, which I still think is just dog shit. And I hate this direction Nintendo takes these days, where they patent everything. Everything Nintendo has ever used in a game, Nintendo now wants to patent to stop others from even thinking about exploring creative options with those kind of mechanics. I think that is so anti-creative expression, and it is stifling to creativity in this medium. I think it super sucks. So even if this is specific enough to only hurt Pal World, I still think this is fucking horrible overall. where anytime there's a game that they have issue with, they'll just patent things around it, so that way they can more effectively take them down. So let's go ahead and take a deeper dive here into exactly what they've now registered, what Nintendo owns entirely that no one else can touch anymore. This is their holy grail mechanics. Performing control of moving a player character on a field in a virtual space based on a moving operation input. Performing control of causing a sub-character to appear on the field based on a first operation input. And when an enemy character is placed at a location where the sub-character is caused to appear, controlling a battle between the sub-character and the enemy character by a first mode in which the battle proceeds based on an operation input, and when the enemy character is not placed at the location where the sub-character is caused to appear, starting automatic control of automatically moving the sub-character that has appeared, and performing control of moving the sub-character in a predetermined direction on the field based on a second operation input, and when the enemy character is placed at a location of a designation, controlling a battle between the sub-character and the enemy character by a second mode in which the battle automatically proceeds. I know that jargon can be a little confusing and hard.
I was following it up until the 5th or 6th step, but he kind of lost me.
Hard to understand
at some point.
Exactly what it's saying. Unfortunately, that's just how a lot of patent filings sound, like somebody overdosing while trying to explain string theory. This article kind of breaks it down into like what exactly it means. So like move character in virtual space, summon character, call it sub-character, by which means it's not the player character. For example, a little monster like a Pokemon that the player has at its disposal. Then there's alternating scenarios here where the sub-character is summoned in a place where there's already a character, so then it will fight. And then it is summoned in a place where there is not another character, so it doesn't fight immediately. The final step is about sending the sub-character in a direction, then letting an automatic battle ensue with another character. Then if you look at their flowchart, they have like the entire thing broken down here about the field processing. You move character, controlling...
So at the end of the day, what they want to patent, or what they have patented, is essentially a character summoning another character and then sending that character into battle, where it then creates another instance of quote-unquote battle. It's way... it's so vague. It's way too vague.
Enemy character, they come in contact, basically it goes through what a battle looks like. So then throwing motion instruction, and then it goes through their checks. Is there selection target? And then if there is, sub-character will appear. Sub-character fights. Basically, if you read through this, it is like the Pokemon formula. This may be a look at the Krabby Patty and what goes on it here, but this isn't actually overly relevant to the patent and their claims in it. This is them laying out their flow as examples of their processing and how all of it plays out. That is not what they are specifically targeting. So that's figures 18 through 22, and they're shown as an example of how their processing is executed in these games. But the patent isn't aiming to just patent everything you read in that flowchart. Reading through this patent, it is looking at these sub-characters that get summoned, and if they are summoned on top of an enemy in a persistent environment, it will automatically fight the enemy. If it is summoned when there is no enemy present, it will follow the player around performing autonomous actions, that kind of thing. Specifically, I believe
like a very basic
it would be manual versus automatic. So if the game has both manual and automatic battling for these summons, then these would apply. So like, if you're summoned skeletons or something as a necromancer, if there are no enemies, they will go find one and then automatically fight it, I believe, would then be an application. Again, it is pretty confusing, but what they are listing here with their Pokemon flow is just examples of what like they have and what they aim to protect through these patents. The claims are the important parts of what they are filing, which many are interpreting as pretty broad. And there is room that it could be viewed broadly. Yes, it seems like it looks to, put the lock and key on Nintendo's toys so no one ever gets to play with them again. But the way that you can read this filing does apply to more than just, like, the creature catching aspect of Nintendo Pokemon games and stuff like that. Like, I can understand confusion because it is confusing. It is weird. It is messy. And this is entirely uncalled for and unnecessary. And
that's what I was going to say. It's so fucking unnecessary. It's like, what? Like, I want to ask why? Why would they even do that? Why would they bother? But I know the answer to that. It's fucking money. It's control. They don't like people using anything that they're using, so they just try to use the legal system to block them. It's fucking annoying.
Specific to Power World alone, this threat of a patent that Nintendo owns around summoning and certain things with summoning might just be a deterrent from someone else out there looking to explore a creature catching game or a game that uses some kind of summoning mechanics.
It 100%
in, like, a container, because Nintendo now has like the
You like, this is pretty much the exact same thing as to why we haven't seen any game even try to do anything close to the Nemesis system, right? It's like, I think I think there was a game that tried, and they got in legal trouble almost immediately because it was too similar to the Nemesis system. It's like, yes, obviously the system was very good and you're not doing anything with it, and we like to do something similar to it, but they got in trouble. So it's like, now you see fucking Nintendo, the Nintendo hog, you know, pulling all these patents out of their ass somehow. And let's say you're like an indie developer or something, and you're seeing this. Like, yeah, obviously you don't want to deal with Nintendo, right? You obviously, like, everyone knows how fucking cutthroat Nintendo can be. So it's like, obviously they don't want to get in trouble.
Pokeballs and like creatures held in something that you throw, like them just having so many patents that they squat on and them being as litigious and aggressive as they are, that in and of itself can just be a weapon. Like that fear of Nintendo coming at you legally for one of your gameplay ideas that maybe doesn't have anything to do with like Pokemon, but it could still fall under their interpretation of a patent, that now they don't want to like mess around with that idea anymore because they can't afford to get sued by Nintendo. Them just having all of these patents that are applying to broad ideas, even if they are specific enough in the actual filing, is still just scary to a lot of developers, I imagine.
True.
That can't afford to be targeted and attacked by Nintendo, even if they haven't done anything wrong. So they might not even take the chance of making that game. I just think it is just so shitty across the board. I feel like I got a little lost in the sauce on my explanation. Basically what I'm saying is, even if these patents are specific enough to only target Power World, which again I think is already shitty in and of itself, but even if it doesn't apply to other things, the confusion around these patents, and since they are targeting very basic gameplay ideas like summoning, people that are developing a game that uses summoning in some way that is even remotely adjacent to a creature catcher might be hesitant about pulling the trigger on development and going down that path, because
for good reason, for very good reason. Ultimately, like, if I was a developer making a game that is kind of like a creature catching game, I would 100% think twice, maybe even 3 or 4 times, because this is like one of those situations where even if you're like, you start looking at your game and you're like, well, it's different enough, right? I mean, yeah, it's a creature catching game, but and you know, I summon my creature, or you know, the player character summons a creature and then they battle other creatures. So you know, it's kind of like, it's like similar, but like there's so many different things to this that you know, my game does differently. But you know, because the base is the same, or at least very similar, like you're just one guy, right? You don't fucking know if it's too similar to what Nintendo has, right? And then imagine your game, you know, you put it out, your game becomes popular, and next thing you know, Nintendo takes notice of you, and now you're fucked, right? Or it's so it's just fucking annoying. The fact that they would even go so far as to patent these very basic mechanics.
They could be afraid Nintendo would target them because of this patent. So, like, them just going down this path of patent everything, even if it doesn't target everyone now has to be aware of that and be, like, kind of worried, like, well, what's Nintendo going to do with it, and does it apply to my game? Is my game falling under these specific criteria? Because it might be, I'm not really sure. So it just becomes a big problem across the board, in my eyes. It just attacks creativity. It just makes it harder to explore ideas from other people because Nintendo might...
Like, I really wouldn't be surprised if there already has been a developer that maybe was making some sort of creature catching game or creature battling game or something, summon battles or whatever, who literally just gave up on the idea because they saw that Nintendo is doing this. Like, I really would not be surprised.
Come after them. And Nintendo is not shy about going after, like, literally anybody. They will target someone that only has, like, 5 followers on itch.io if they think...
I mean, like, think about it as well. A lot of developers, game developers, they get inspired by other games. Hang on. Like I was saying, they get inspired by other games. Dude, we're talking about Pokemon here. One of the most, like, well-known franchises, you know, game franchises, Pokemon card franchises, you know, like this is internationally incredibly well-known stuff. Obviously, you would have people be inspired by that and want to create their own game. Like, obviously. But now, imagine you're a massive Pokemon fan growing up. You finally have the ability and the idea to create your own, like, little creature catching game, and the company that made your favorite franchise growing up is the one blocking you from, you know, expressing your creativity. Like, that's fucked.
They stepped on their fucking trademarks or something. Like, they will. So it becomes just a blanket threat. Nintendo with patents is a grizzly bear with a bazooka. Truly just unpredictable, but very dangerous for sure. Like, it is just a legitimately concerning thing for developers because now Nintendo will enforce those patents strictly, and you're not entirely sure if, like, well, does my summoning mechanics...
I think they won't enforce them until whatever, you know, your shit is becomes too popular. Then they'll enforce them.
Fall under these criteria.
Kind of like Pal World.
Potentially, I'm not really sure, you know? It just becomes bad. I don't like it. I think it is super shitty, and I'm so fucking tired of Nintendo's antics.
I agree.
I still have no plans on buying any Nintendo products. That has not changed. So, yeah, that's really about it. See ya.
Yeah, I do not understand how. I really do not understand how they even get away with this, that shit. I just... It has to be some sort of old people in I don't know. It has to be some sort of old people in the system that just have no idea about summoning. They think that Nintendo is like the only company that does, you know, one character summons another character and then fights another character. Like, they like, this is, again, it's so fucking vague that, like, half of all fucking games in the world fall under this, most likely, in some form or in some way or another. It's so insane. But yeah, good video, but Jesus Christ, Nintendo, man, just fuck Nintendo. Just really, just fuck them. I walked my dog the other day. He growled at another dog. Nintendo found out and now is suing me. Sounds about right. Honestly. Really sounds about right. Summoning a character and letting it fight another is the most generic RPG thing ever. Yep. And it's like, yes, again, like Charlie said in the video, there's more to it, right? But it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Ridiculous that a company can patent a basic game component. Yep. Like, again, I'm just so baffled by the fact that they somehow managed to succeed. Like, who allowed this? That's the real question. It should be illegal to patent video game mechanics since they are akin to painting drawing methods. Since both video games and paintings are art. Well, the art part like is whatever, but I agree with the fact that video game mechanics are essentially ideas, and you are not allowed to copyright or patent ideas. I mean, you can, I think, fuck, I don't even know, but like I think you can patent like a product idea, but you cannot like patent or copyright techniques. Because people can come up with the same technique. They can do the technique, right? People can come up with the same ideas. I think companies shouldn't be able to patent video game mechanics. Yep, sounds about right. I agree. Technically, they can't do this because there are hundreds of other games that already have features like this in the game. Again, I think they're probably going somewhat deep enough to where they show their own Pokemon game formula to the absolute smallest detail, and then say that, oh, that's our patent. Yeah, I mean, I'm really surprised that they can even do this. I don't know what to say. Other than the fact that you just fuck Nintendo. Really, fuck them. Just fuck them. Yeah, well, I think that is enough for me for today. I'm getting very tired. Like, I can barely keep myself awake at this point. You know, I'm ESL, and usually I have to think about what I'm saying because due to how tired I am, I'm starting to slur my speech, not being able to come up with anything to say. You know, it is what it is. Time to go to sleep. Sleep is good. Sleep is required. I require sleep. So, yeah. If you're watching this as a VOD, I hope you enjoyed me yapping, watching some videos. Until next time, I shall bid